Training, training, training. Okay.
Yes.
So what's a week of training look like with you? Are you how much of your training is out and out strength training? How much is high intensity intervals? What do you do for cardio?
Okay, so my training style has changed over the years for sure. When I was developing our body rip program, I was doing a lot of body weight hit style stuff, which I love. But then I started getting back into competing, and you have to keep your muscle on if you're competing. So I was back to the weights, which I also really love. So I spend about 5 days a week lifting, and I lift heavy, and I really love it. And then I'll add in 1 day for sure of just an all-out full body weight hit.
Yep.
Super sweaty session, and then take 2 sort of rest days. Cardio-wise, I swap between sprint intervals, whether that's on a set of stairs, which is probably my favorite go-to, or a hill. I love hill sprints. Worst case scenario, if it's raining, then I'm on the treadmill, but I'll interval between either sprints or I'll get on the stepper and just go to town on the stepper.
Now on the weight side, you're talking about going heavy. It's a lot of squats, deads, presses, upper back work, that kind of stuff, right?
For sure. I focus on, as a bikini and fitness competitor, glutes are a big one, so I'm training a lot of legs, so squats are a go-to. I love my squats, deadlifts, lunges, presses, ham curls. Back is a focus, so lots of pull-up. Shoulders are also good. You want to create a nice, good cap on your shoulder. What do I do? Legs, shoulder, back. Yeah, and then my full body day. And every once in a while, I'll add in arms, but to be totally honest with you, as a bikini athlete, if you're training your back and your shoulders properly and your plyo days are dialed in, your arms look jacked regardless. You don't really need to isolate them. If I'm feeling antsy and I want an extra training day, I'll do them.
Okay.
Because I kind of like having
the guns.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And I was going to say, for anyone who's watching this, especially people from my community, if you like how do I get great legs, you should definitely check out Body Rip. It's a wicked program, right up my alley, philosophy-wise, right? And if you're just starting out, right, like you said, HIIT is, I think, a great thing to do for the first 6 to 12 months before you really get under a bar and start messing around with weights.
For sure. I think if you can't control your body with just your own body weight, what right do you have tossing added metal on your back? Really. Got to take care of yourself.
Well said. Well said. Yeah. Now, something near and dear to my community, or near and dear the absence of cellulite. Cellulite's always a problem, right?
Yes.
Has it ever been an issue for you? Do you do specific things, diet, training, any which way, to ward it off?
It has. I think almost every female, anyways, has at least experienced it. I have for sure. I tend to keep it off pretty good right now, knock on wood. It's very lucky, but diet is key. You got to keep your diet clean. So processed foods, sugar out. I even try to keep dairy out as much as possible. Lots of lean proteins, tons of veg, lots of water. Keep yourself hydrated, and keep some solid muscle on, because it's the more muscle you have in your body, and you know this, I'm not telling you, the less fat you can have. Literally, your muscle will just kick it out. So keep your muscle big and full, and train hard, and eat clean, and it's all going to work out.
Beautiful. It really is just that fundamental approach, right?
It really is. And people, you know what? We all want it to be something more difficult.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
Lift heavy, eat clean.
Hey, water-wise, just on a detail, how much water do you say you fire back a day?
Between 3 and 4 liters.
Yeah, yeah. Right on, right on. Now, this is a bit of a shift, but I really want to touch on this because I think it's totally important. Mindset, right?
Yes.
So do you do anything specific to keep a positive mindset and just keep inspired and motivated?
I do. I do a couple of things. I journal, which to me is really important. I do love to write, and I'm better writing than I am speaking, so journaling is really effective for me. One thing my best friend and I do every night, I have an alarm on my phone. It goes off at 8 o'clock, and we share our 3 top gratitudes for the day. And so even on your crappiest day, you're forced to think of 3 things, and you always can. I set goals for every week, both personal, business, and with my training. And I write them down, and they're in my bedroom, and I see them every day. And I start my morning with intentions. So as I'm driving to work, it's about a 4-minute drive, I speak out loud, and I'm sure I look crazy, but I speak my intentions, and I say, my intentions for the day are...
Yes.
And I say one thing for others, like today my intentions are to make every person I come in contact with smile,
yep,
as an example. And then I say one for myself, and it's usually training related. Today my intentions are to train at my 100% today. And I say it out loud the whole drive. And honestly, it sticks in my head all day. And if there's ever a falter, I'm reminded of what I spoke out loud and my intentions were set, and I better follow through with my intentions. And it worked really well for me.
That's very cool. Very cool. That shows that's just, it's almost like sets and reps. You're developing mental strength on that drive in the morning, and that carries you through the day.
For sure.
And I love that gratitude thing at the end of the day, especially with your buddy. That is very cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm glad we do it. And I try to, whoever's around us at that time of day, they're involved.
All right, so here's a question.
Yes.
How important is that? Would you say those kind of exercises, that kind of attitude, how important is that, would you say, to the overall success you've had to date?
Oh, very much, very, very much so. I'm a big believer in thought has power, and the law of attraction. And I can't tell you how many times I have put something out there to the universe or written it down on my goal list, and it's happened. I mean, without getting really preachy, I think it has a very, very large part in my success, both personally and professionally, in the last couple of years.
I completely agree. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Because your mind will take your body where it needs to go.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. Hey, listen, I wanted to thank you so much for the time today. My community wants to thank you. Guys, if you want to check it out, I'm going to have a link below if you want to check out more about Body Ripped and actually work out with Kyla at home. And definitely go check her out on Facebook, like her page, and you'll get some of those yummy dessert recipes, all right? Thanks very much, Kyla.
Thank you.